All right, guys, before we get started, make sure you like the video if you dig it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like guitars like this, if you like Washburn N4s and other kind of hard rock guitars, make sure you tune in. Yeah, this is a really cool guitar. Let's get a good look at it right there. It looks a lot like a Washburn N4 or an N2. And so what's the story on this thing? This is a Charvel. Check that out. It is a early 90s Charvel Nuno Bettencourt prototype. Not really affiliated with Nuno. This was a guitar that Charvel in Japan made to replicate his Warmoth N2 that he was playing, which was kind of a parts guitar. And it's kind of a copy of that guitar that he used on the 1989 Extreme Tour in Japan. And this is pre-N4, so it's really a super cool guitar. And as you can see, it's got the little switch right there like Nuno's earlier guitars had. This one has a Charvel branded TRS trim in it, which sounds and plays great. I've had a couple people kind of hit me up about the way that the trim is cut out. You have to understand, back in the early 90s, they didn't cut out the trim cavity exactly like the shape of the trim. They just wanted something where it pulled back. This is actually a top-mounted trim that just has a pullback cutout. And yeah, Bill Lawrence in the bridge, just like an N4, and a 59, and it's got one of the, that's a Seymour Duncan 59 with one of the metal braided cords on it. So yeah, so this guitar popped up. I've seen probably 4 or 5 of these. They only made a handful of them. And of course, Nuno ended up going with Washburn. And the couple of these prototypes were kind of sold off in Japan. This one went to a really big collector in Japan, and it stayed in a really big Charvel collection for many years. That's why this guitar is brand new. No dings, no scratches, no real player's wear. And not only is this guitar brand new, but I also have the original Charvel box from the early 90s that comes with this guitar. Maple fretboard, maple neck. Let's flip it over real quick. All right, so how's this compared to an N4? Totally different guitar. Like I said, this was kind of more based on Nuno's Warmoth parts guitar into. It does have the Charvel typical Jackson type cutout on the back of it, which is really cool. It's got some real great accessibility. But the neck on this thing is like playing a vintage Strat. It's very round. It's kind of fat. It does have gloss on it, but it's kind of a satin finish. So it's got a great feeling neck. The weirdest thing about this guitar is the body. The body, you can see that little piece of it's got a little bit of flame to it. This isn't the same type of alder that Nuno's N4s are made out of. I think they might have made this out of basswood or something. I don't know what it is, but it's very, very light. It's the one thing that I don't like about this guitar is it is just insanely light. I thought about putting an original Floyd in it and putting a big brass block on it to add some weight to it because it does feel so light, but I really wanted to keep the original Charvel bridge on it because, you know, not only is this probably one of 5 of the rarest Nuno guitars on the planet, it is also the cleanest one. This one is brand new, like I said. Now, on the sales side of things, you can buy these things beat up. There's a couple of them floating out there for $2,500 to $2,900. But there's not a real big market for these. Nuno people aren't looking to buy these things because there is kind of a weird question of what the hell they are. So they just don't have a big desirable market. So, you know, $2,000, 2,500 is about the money on one of these when one pops up. But yeah, it's a really, really cool piece of history. And Charvel's awesome attempt at trying to snag one of the biggest rock guitar players of all time. Now, how does it compare to an N4? It's a different guitar. And I think Nuno was playing a different guitar back then. He wasn't playing anything that was remotely close to an N4. This guitar is probably the closest thing to Nuno's original parts Warmoth guitar. It's pretty much an exact copy. They went off a lot of video. There's a video floating out there. I'll actually leave it in the comments or in the description so you can go check out that video of Nuno playing his Warmoth guitar. But yeah, this thing, it's nothing close to an N4. But on the other side of things, it plays amazing. And one of my best friends, Brian, played it earlier today. And he and my luthier, Jake Jones, who works on all my N4s and has probably worked on 50 to 75 N4s, including the 901, both of them went out of their way to say that is the best sounding Nuno guitar that they'd ever heard. And I think it's got to do with this lighter wood. You know, the lighter the wood, the bigger the sound. And this thing is just really loud, really resonant. It's like you're playing an acoustic guitar. The sound just pops off of it. And it's a really awesome killer guitar. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Like I said, make sure you subscribe. And make sure you like the video. And yeah, super, super rare guitar. I'm trying to remember what the official name of this guitar was. Let me track it down here real quick. All right, so here is the original box. Check this out. And the official name of this guitar was a HDK 125 NB. And you can guess what the NB stood for. But yeah, original box, which is just crazy. One of my first guitars was a Charvel. And here's another N4 there that I'm about to do some work to. But yeah, so there you go. HDK 125 NB. Nuno Bettencourt Charvel prototype. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time.